Hey crew, welcome back to the workshop. Artisan Pirate here, and in today's fun scroll saw project video we're going to be doing more compound cutting, making a really cool, creative 3D snake design. Now I know some people do not like snakes. I personally do not like them. I do remember growing up I did have a pair of snake skin boots that I wore faithfully until the snake skin basically fell off of them. But I think this is going to be another one of those compound cut designs that might be a good intro for compound cutting for people who have never tried it over at their scroll saw. The last time we done compound cutting, we done these beautiful miniature mushroom designs, a small, medium, and large ones, and it was only 2 cuts per each one, so you're looking at a total of 6 cuts here. One for one side, and compound cutting you flip it over, cut the other side, so 2 cuts. So it's only 2 cuts for each of the mushrooms, just like in this project here. There's going to be no internal cutting. That's why I feel like it would be a great project for someone to start compound cutting with if they are interested in it. The design we're going to be doing is once again from the Spring 2022 issue 86 of Scroll Saw Woodworking and Crafts magazine, with the car puzzle there on the cover. The compound cut mushrooms were featured in this magazine as well. So a lot of creative, cool, and versatile designs. And the design and the article we're going to be doing is on page 55, and here you see the visual representation. Here you have a larger one, which is the one we're going to be making, and then a smaller snake as well. So a really cool creepy crawly design for the springtime. I feel like you could make this and put it as a decor in like a greenhouse, or if you have a big potted plant you could stick it there for a little bit of decor. And of course with finishing options, the skies are the limit. You could make them as pictured here out of exotic or hardwoods, or you could go in with spray paints, stains, or acrylic craft paints or craft pens. So really neat. But it says compound cut snake. Slice up your blank to reveal the slithering surprise inside, by Mr. Al Bagetta, and thank him for the beautiful and creative design for Scroll Saw Woodworking. The following page has the full-size pattern as well as the rest of the article for the smaller of the 2 snakes, but the bigger snake, which we're going to be focusing on in today's video, is in the full-size pattern pull-out section, and there you see it. I've got it photocopied appropriately to its full size, and the material we're going to be using, just like with the mushrooms, is going to be basic, readily available pine material. Of course you could go with exotic or hardwoods. Just keep in mind that the density and hardness of certain woods, that's going to determine the feed rate over at your scroll saw. Now of course with compound cutting and that small blade cutting through this thickness of material, you need to of course take your time and let the blade do the work. Also with compound cutting, I hope it goes without saying that you need to make sure, as I said in the last compound cut video, you need to make sure your table saw, your miter saw, your band saw, wherever you feel comfortable milling your material down to the appropriate dimensions, is dialed in at a perfect 90 degrees. Also that your scroll saw is dialed in at a perfect 90 degrees. But this is going to about wrap up that big pine block I've been showing you all. We have been cutting it down, making so many beautiful and creative compound cut designs. But again, a 1 1/2 inch piece of material. And what we need to do now to get the project formally started is move the camera over to the workbench. We'll trim out the pattern with a straight edge and an X-Acto knife, get it attached to our material with clear packing tape, and we'll start at the miter saw by cutting it down to a smaller dimension. So let's get started, crew. And over here on the workbench we're going to take a straight edge and an X-Acto knife and trim out the full-size pattern, and we'll fold it completely in half, and we'll attach it to our 1 1/2 inch pine material with clear packing tape. Clear packing tape is all we'll use to attach the pattern, and after it is attached we'll cut this piece down to a more manageable size over at the miter saw. And then we will be ready to head over to the scroll saw. And you all know whenever I go about compound cutting, I will always double check to make sure that the scroll saw is dialed in at a perfect 90 degrees. And I'll tension the blade and do that now with my 3D printed blade alignment jigs. And we are perfectly square, and we are ready to scroll after I put the dust mask on. This is a fairly straightforward cut, and for all of the cutting I am going to be using a number 5 Ultra reverse tooth blade, and it will cut through the material exceptionally well with minimal chip out. Keep in mind this is soft pine material, but it is still an 1.5 inch thick piece of material, so you need to, of course, take your time and let the blade do the work. But I am being as loyal as I can be to the cut line. I'm not being too aggressive with the cut itself. I'm just letting that blade do the work and guiding it to the best of my abilities. But we are already almost done with the first half, and I'll step quickly back over to the workbench. And you all know I like to do this. I like to remove the piece and remove as much of that excess sawdust as possible before taping the piece back together. And again, just using clear packing tape here. That excess sawdust that I blew away, if you leave it in there, can catch on the scroll saw blade and produce burn marks that you would have to sand away later. But as always, this is a totally optional step. But now back over at the Rikon scroll saw, still using that same blade, I'm giving you all a close-up view so you can see how loyal I am being to the cut line. If you guys would like to try this pattern, it's available in an older issue of Scroll Saw Woodworking and Crafts magazine by Fox Chapel Publishing. I'll once again show that magazine at the end of the video. And if you guys like what you're seeing, I would highly encourage you to subscribe to the channel and also follow me across all the social media feeds under the Artisan Pirate name. I'd really appreciate the support. Coming around the other side here, when I seen this pattern, I knew it would be a cool design to make and bring to life for a visual aspect over here on the YouTube channel, just to hopefully once again show you all the versatility of what a scroll saw is capable of making out in a garage or workshop with a little bit of time, practice, patience, and effort. Now all of the scrolling is complete, and we'll step back over to the workbench and we'll carefully remove our piece. And there we have our 3D snake. As always, with compound cuts, it's very blocky in appearance, so I'm taking my Marathon rotary tool here by Bearwood Supply that Sterling Davis gave me and a small sanding drum, and I am just shaping everything, giving it a more snake-like, lifelike appearance. And you can sand as much or as little as you want. Now at the drill press, I'm using a Klingspor Woodworking Shop sand and mop, just smoothing everything over, being very careful here, and also exfoliating my fingertips and knuckles. And then for the final bit of sanding, I'll use a Klingspor Woodworking Shop sanding sponge just to be able to squish it in and get into all of those nooks and crannies. But then I am going to opt to apply some splashes of color. And the first color we are going to add is a green Rust-Oleum spray paint here. And I hung the piece on a hook to dry and to spray paint it here. It dried out in the spring breeze. There's no harm in a little green snake. But after it had completely dried, I took the acrylic paint markers and used some artistic liberty to add some more details to the snake. And you can do as much or as little of this as you want to. Taking a lighter green to add him some spots. And then I will paint his belly and add the eyes. And one thing I love about the paint markers is they basically dry within a few seconds. But after letting it air dry for around 5 minutes, it was time for a finish with Rust-Oleum semi-gloss clear coat. And after giving it a few coats, I once again hung it on a hook outside to dry. And when it was dry, our creepy, crawly snake design was complete. And here we have the completed miniature compound cut snake, cut out completely over on the Rikon scroll saw with the compound cutting technique. And I think he finished up very neat and cool. Really, really neat. It only took me around 25 minutes to scroll him out completely from start to finish. Again, it's a very simple and straightforward pattern. It's just with the nature of compound cutting, you need to, of course, take your time and let the blade do the work. I want to once again thank Mr. Al Baguetta for the beautiful and creative design featured in that older issue of Scroll Saw Woodworking and Crafts magazine by Fox Chapel Publishing. As always, I'll hold the magazine up once again momentarily as we get ready to close the video. But I just went a little, went wild with how I wanted to finish this up. Of course, when I got it done, I could have clear coated it to show that it was just a single piece of wood. I could have cut it out of exotic or hardwoods. There's always the option of staining it, but I wanted to add some bright colors to it because snakes, just like any other animal out in nature, come in all shapes, sizes, colors, and dimensions. And I know for a fact that a little green garden snake is harmless. They can help keep other bugs and things out of your garden if one is going around. But really, really cool. Of course, where I'm at in North Carolina, the most common snake is the poisonous brown copperhead. So we always have to be careful. I know when we get ready to do stuff in the spring, if I've got some boards laying out and I lift them up, I always have to be careful to make sure the narrow-eyed creature, as my grandfather used to call it, is not hiding and lurking around. But I'm really happy with how he came out. Cut out with my standard number 5 ultra reverse tooth blades, and we've now made both compound cut designs from that old magazine. Again, in the last compound cut video, I showed you all how to make these miniature decorative mushrooms, and we put them on a base. Again, the base is totally optional. But as I said in this video, with the simplicity of this design here with the mushrooms, you do not have to be as loyal to the cut line, if that makes any sense. If you get off a little bit, if you've never done a compound cut, you can still sand, shape, and contour it to its final shape. This one here is a little bit more challenging with the in and outs of the snake's body, where it is slithering along the ground. And I love how the little detail that Al Baguetta added is, you can see here how the snake has his head up like he is patrolling his property. But we spray painted it, after sanding it up nice and smooth, we spray painted it with a satin Rust-Oleum seaweed green spray paint. It was the only green spray paint I had. I would have liked to have went with maybe a little brighter green or something like that. But after that dried, outside where we hung it on the hook by the shop door, out in the morning breeze, after it dried, we went wild with the acrylic craft paints, and I put a yellow stripe across his top. I put some light green dots all the way around him, and then on the bottom I painted his belly with a gold. Hopefully it would simulate him, going on the dirt. And for display options with this, I feel like you could go above and beyond. You could put it, if you like potions and mythology and folklore, I know snakes play a huge part in that, with like the potions and all. You could put this with some books that represent that. My mom loves to have flowers in her kitchen, and she's got one big flower pot with a small little tree in it in there, and this could of course sit at the base of it with a few stones, to give it a more natural and earth tone look. So it's really, really cool and creative how to make these and finish them. And again, it come from a block of wood in 2 simple cuts over at the scroll saw. This is the waste wood. This is the material we started with. And again, with a little bit of time, practice, patience, and effort, the 3D image will emerge. As I said and talked about in the compound cut mushroom video, I'll take a scroll saw blade here and show it to you all. The scroll saw blade is very fine and minute. Now, this is the ones that I prefer to use, the number 5 ultra reverse tooth blades. And when you are cutting through an 1.5 inch thick piece of material, that is a lot of material that scroll saw blade has to go through with how small it is. You do not want to be too aggressive and force your cut, because what can happen is that blade can warp, hope that illustrates that really well, within the material, and then when you get done with your cut, it would not be able to slide apart, as you guys seen me be able to do it in today's video. After we done the first cut, we cleaned out everything on the inside, you know, the sawdust, because that excess sawdust can catch and grab over at the scroll saw with the blade and generate heat and produce burn and friction marks that you have to sand away later on in the video. But again, I took my time and let the blade do the work. But I hope the past 2 videos for compound cutting has shown you all and given you some ideas for simplistic compound cut designs if you have never tried compound cutting over at the scroll saw. Again, it's a very cool way to show what a scroll saw is capable of. Not only flat 2-dimensional designs, but it can take beautiful scroll saw work into the 3rd dimension with projects like this. And once you get your feet wet, so to speak, with compound cutting, you can seek out more advanced compound cut designs to really show what a scroll saw is capable of. And Fox Chapel Publishing offers this book here, 128 scroll saw patterns for compound cutting, original 2-in-1 designs for 3D animals and people. And you can see here how, like, you have the saxophone, and these are dual image pieces. The saxophone is on one side, and then you flip it, and then the music note is on the other. So once you get some simplistic compound cut designs done, you can start tackling some more tedious ones and making them and bringing them to life. And they don't take up much material. You could go get a pine, as I said. All of this here is pine, except the base for that one is walnut. Pine is just so easy to teach with visually over here on the platform, and it's readily available. But you could go get a basic off-the-shelf pine 2x4 and mill it down to the dimensions and make a ton of compound cut designs, especially if you're first getting started and you just want to practice compound cutting. But again, these videos are made to encourage you and hopefully inspire you to go out in your garage or workshops and try compound cutting for yourself. But I'm really happy with how he came up, the mysterious snake-like creature. Once again, the design came from an older issue of Scroll Saw Woodworking and Crafts magazine by Fox Chapel Publishing, and the magazine in question is Spring 2022 issue 86 with the car puzzle on the cover. And we've done a few other projects out of this magazine. Again, the mushrooms are featured in it, and then on page 55 you have the design and article for the compound cut snakes, and there is the visual one they have to show you, just made out of exotic and hardwoods. Again, if you cut them out of that type of material, the cut will be a lot slower due to the density and hardness of the materials. And then here we have the little creature we made in today's video, and hopefully you guys like how it came out. And as I said at the beginning, again, thanks Al Bagetta for the creative design for Scroll Saw Woodworking. You have 2 different options here, so I could make the other one out of a scrap piece of material and paint it up differently, and the smaller snake design was featured here in the magazine, so you could just take the magazine right over to your printer. But if not, the full size for the larger snake that we made and brought to life in today's video is featured in the full size pattern pullout section that is featured in each and every magazine that Scroll Saw Woodworking and Crafts releases by Fox Chapel Publishing. But really cool. I had a lot of fun in today's video. I feel like this was an appropriate springtime project, that one as well as the last one with the mushrooms, since it is the season, so to speak. But really cool. Really creative. If you make this design and finish it in a different way, please send me a photo of it. I'd love to see it, or tag me on social media. I'd love to see how creative you guys can be out there in the big wide world we live in. But that's going to about wrap it up for this video. Hopefully along the way from the start until now you have picked up a tip, trick, or tidbit to take back to your garage or workshop. And if you're new to the channel, hopefully you'll click that subscribe button and follow me across all my social media feeds under the Artisan Pirate name. As always, links to contact me as well as all my social media feeds will always be linked down in the description box below these videos. That's about all for this one, crew. And remember, if I can make it or do it, so can you guys. I'm the Artisan Pirate. Take care, and I'll see you all real soon.